Joining us now, Aaron Katersky, ABC News Radio correspondent. He's in Boston covering the explosions at the Boston Marathon. Aaron, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, guys. This city is still rather buttoned up this morning. Commuters were told to expect closures on the streets and extra checks in the subways. And I'm here at Back Bay Station just across from the blast site, and there are police out in force, military vehicles on the streets. Very eerie to see Boston Common, one of the storied places, the setting for children's books, to see that filled with military police is this morning. But now the city is trying to come to terms with what happened at the marathon yesterday.
I can well imagine, and we did just hear your report with ABC News at the top of the hour, and I first want to focus on this person of interest at a local hospital. We heard the police commissioner at the press conference last night reiterate that this person is not a suspect, just a person of interest. What do we know about this person, and is he in fact being detained at the hospital?
Well, he's not free to go, but authorities, I don't think, would use the word detained, and we're talking about semantics at this point, but he is a person of interest, according to law enforcement sources familiar with it, and he's in his 20s, said to be a Saudi national. And what exactly his role may or may not have been is not at all clear. Police stressed they do not have a suspect at this point, but they have been chasing several people that they are interested in for one reason or another. They've been scouring surveillance cameras that are all over the city at the different nearby hotels, restaurants at the blast site. They're trying to figure out who may have planted what's believed to be small bombs, crudely made devices that appear to have been detonated remotely with a cell phone.
We're also hearing reports that a local suburban apartment building was descended upon by local and federal authorities, and that, in fact, the FBI has removed a bag of some evidence or potential evidence from that. Do you have any information?
This is in Revere, which is just a little bit north on the water, out toward the airport, toward Logan Airport, so about 15, 20 minutes north of the blast site. And the authorities were there for several hours overnight, and again, there was no specific word as to whether there was a confirmed piece of evidence that directly relates to the scene, or again, whether they're just chasing. And authorities stressed this is an active and fluid investigation where bits and pieces of information are being run down constantly. Just to give you an example of that, they've had tons of suspicious package reports now, to the point where the thinking was they gathered up all the bags that were left near the blast site and just blew them up in a controlled detonation. They didn't want to have to go searching individual bag by bag by bag. They just didn't think there was time.
Along that line, there have been some reports. ABC News is reporting no additional devices were found. Other news organizations, including the AP, I think the Wall Street Journal, reporting that perhaps some other devices have been located and have been dismantled. Can you give us any guidance on that?
Well, police say no. Police say they have not found any additional devices, despite numerous reports, as you indicate, to the contrary. And they say that they've been running down a lot of leads and a lot of people calling to say that they're seeing something suspicious, which is what police want them to do. But they say there have been no other confirmed. Okay. And they also say in the same breath, in a frustratingly vague sentence, that they're not yet completely at ease. So we don't know whether they think that something more may be out there or whether it's simply nerves.
Let me ask you another question. This search warrant that was executed at the house in Revere, do we know to whom that home is connected? Is it connected to the person that they consider a person of interest?
We don't know specifically. We were told that it was linked somehow to one of the runners who may live there or has a roommate or knows somebody who lives at the house. It's a little fuzzy on what exactly led them to that scene, other than it seems to be a tip from one of the runners who was caught up in the blast site.
All right.
And Aaron Katersky, it's 6:12 now. The morning commute is beginning in Boston. From where you stand, what can you tell us about the mood there and whether, I know that Governor Deval Patrick asked for business to return to as usual as possible, I suppose, on a day like this, but what are you sensing on the street?
Well, I think there are a good deal of nerves and uncertainty here. People are facing a morning commute. Well, the governor, I think, put it best. Boston is open, but it's not business as usual. And I think part of the reason for that is that people on the subway are going to be subjected to extra searches. 15 blocks in every direction around the crime scene is closed, and this is in the heart of downtown Boston. The good news is that it's school vacation week. That may lessen the traffic a bit, although it did bring a lot of kids out to watch the marathon.